Why you really shouldn't use a keyboard cover on your MacBook. Your MacBook's keyboard is probably even more delicate than you think. Of course, one unlucky spill could knock out your whole computer, but even crumbs could mean death for your keys. It might be tempting to put a keyboard cover on your computer to keep both the keys and the MacBook protected, but as it turns out, these covers can actually do more harm than good. One keyboard covers can damage your MacBook's display. For all that time you spent worrying about your MacBook's keyboard, you might want to take a second to think about its display. MacBook displays are excellent, but they're also fragile. Think about how easily yours gets dirty. Fingerprints and water spots end up littering the display and make cleaning a challenge, but adding a keyboard cover makes the problem worse. Apple makes these laptops super thin, as you likely know from picking yours up. As it happens, the company designs these machines with such precision that there is only just a gap between the keyboard and the display when you close your laptop. There's really no room for anything other than air in that space. Keyboard covers, while thin, aren't that thin. They end up touching the display when you close your MacBook, and it stays that way until you open the computer back up. Immediately, you'll notice that there is a QWERTY imprint on your MacBook's display, which fits in nicely with whatever other gunk has accumulated here. It's, for lack of a better word, ugly. 2 keyboard covers can keep your MacBook running too hot. If you have an M1 MacBook Air or MacBook Pro, you likely don't feel it get uncomfortably hot too often. But for those of us with older MacBooks, you know these things can get toasty. There are many reasons for that, and there are ways to mitigate it, but one of the easiest ways to reduce the heat is to stop using a keyboard cover. If your MacBook has a fan, it uses that fan to move air through the machine. Pumping hot air away from the components of the MacBook helps keep control over the temperature. One of the areas it takes in cool air, however, is through the keyboard itself. If you have a cover on the keyboard, your MacBook can't take in as much air as it wants to, which can hinder its ability to pump out an optimal amount of hot air.